What a meeting we had today. I am your general evaluator. My name is Tyler Burnette, and I'm evaluating this meeting, and I'm also evaluating the evaluators. And so we have had 3 speeches today, so that means we have 3 evaluators. So let me go ahead and get the first evaluator to go ahead and come up, please.
Okay, I forgot the name of your speech, but this was certainly this 8th speech, and the objective of it was to use visuals, as you can see in her PowerPoint. So I'm going to start off with some things I think you could fix in your speech, some things that I loved about your speech. And the first one is the beginning of the speech. You use a lot of, for me personally, you use a lot of technical terms that I didn't really understand. Like the pictures explained the terms like exposure, shutter speed, and aperture. So those are the 3 words. The pictures explained them, but it would have been useful for me if you use like simple words or analogies to like enhance the pictures and the explanation of the words for me, because I'm not involved in photography, and for like anyone else in the audience that's not involved in photography. And then moving on to the second point, I love the way that you interacted with the audience. You got everyone to take out their phone, because because when you're giving a speech, sometimes the audience is just daydreaming about whatever, and then when you get them interactive, like take out their phone and checking the brightness on the camera, that their attention is now on your speech now, and they're absorbing the information. And the third point is, I loved how you set it up, of where your presentation went from the most work to the least amount of work that you could do. Because you started with, you could be a photographer, and you could actually worry about the 3 parts that you said with the actual camera. Or you could use your iPhone, which a lot of those things are automized. Or you could even use the app. I forgot the app name. Goofy? Fuji. So even you can use the app Fuji, where you just take a picture and it customizes it. You can do all these customizations with like a click of a button. So I loved how that worked, because that applies to me. I'm on the lower end of the spectrum because I don't have a camera to do all the other things, or like I'm not so involved on my phone that I could just use the app Fuji to customize my photos. So in conclusion, I loved your speech, and I loved your speech. I love the progress that you're making, because I saw you since the start, and I'm excited for your next speech.
Thank you, Nasir. That was a really good evaluation. Okay, and now for our next evaluator to come up, Zack Varghese. He is a seasoned evaluator, so we should expect only the best from him. Come on up, Zack.
That's from last week. You can see the spike in your eyes. All right, so
Stay in time.
I will. Ejan, you asked me I think the most preposterous question you could possibly ask me in the beginning of this meeting. And I would think that when he turned to me and tried to ask me a question, it would be like, what should I focus on in my speech? Or what things can I improve on from the last time I spoke? He asked me, what should I speak on? Literally 10 minutes before the meeting started. And I'm like, how are you going to speak for 5 to 7 minutes on a topic you didn't even develop until just now? And you got up here and you did it. I believe that you have an amazing baseline for storytelling and public speaking, so that you can literally get any topic that you want and stand here and deliver a good speech. But the thing is, speeches 1 and 2 and 3 all were good speeches. And we want to encourage everyone to become from good to great, from great to amazing, from people that couldn't stand on the stage without having to sit down to people that can stand up and give TED Talk speeches. So I believe that you can get that next step with just a little bit more preparation. I know I've done this exact same thing. I mean, Tyler can attest. I was the #1 victim doing the exact same thing, but I realized that actually creating bullet points, developing your speech so that you're not standing here, crap, what am I going to say next? What's my next point? I came up with it and then just go off on 2 minutes and then continue to do that. Instead, you're standing here and rocking the stage, making everyone believe that you've had this speech prepared for 5 months now and you're just delivering what you wrote down years ago. You have an amazing stage presence. You illustrate your points, you illustrate the story so that everyone can see it. Everyone can relate to standing on the bus. Everyone can see themselves stand on the bus in a crowded bus, and I'm sitting down, meanwhile a girl in crutches is standing next to me, and I'm like, I need to stand up and walk aside. So everyone can picture that, and you do an amazing job of illustrating it. And you have an amazing stage presence because you keep everyone actively looking at you with all of your hand motions. One thing that I would suggest to make it go from an A- to an A+ is, you see, you don't want to have your hands in your pockets. It makes you look nervous, or that you really don't care about your speech. Instead, keep your hands here, definitely not behind the back, that's kind of weird, but here, or continuously active, not jittery, but actually expressive. That way, you're turning yourself from a good speaker to an amazing speaker into someone that can deliver a speech, not impromptu, but planned. Thank you.
Another great evaluation. All right, our next evaluator, he's a speaker, he's a gamer. Let me get Onur up to the stage. Thank you, sir.
Okay, today I'll be evaluating Trisha. This was her first speech for Icebreaker. So congratulations, it's a great icebreaker. I really liked, I have an interesting name too, it's very hard to pronounce, so I like how you put your name up there, and you really told us a story about how your name came to be, and which one you prefer, sometimes Anna, sometimes Trisha. At the end, when I was writing feedback on your evaluation, I instinctively just put Anna. I'm like, wait, no, this isn't right. So it really got to me. You have a great ability to really tell a story and make it interesting. There was no point in your speech where I was like, when is this going to end? It was very good. It was very attention-grabbing. I also liked how you used word of the day. You had no idea this was going to be the word of the day, and you pulled it out and used it in your speech on the spot, so that's really great. That shows that you can think on top of your head. So good job with that. One thing I did notice that it's a little bit of the first time jitters, and it definitely help you take you to the next step as a speaker. You were talking about your name and giving your story, and I noticed you're doing this side to side thing. You're just a little bit nervous. There were points where it seemed appropriate because your hands were gesturing what you were talking about, and you were saying comparing this thing to this thing. That was great. But at the other moments, you didn't feel comfortable standing still. You were just kind of swaying from side to side. To help with that, you could think about your speech, think about the organization of it, and really move with a purpose. So you could start here, talk about a topic, and then transition to another topic here. And if it's a more serious note, something that really you want to command the attention, you could just come in the center and really hold your position. You don't have to always constantly be in motion. Another thing I really liked about your speech is you had your name up, and it was a PowerPoint. So at first I was expecting, oh, she's going to have a bunch of slides. But you just kept it on that one slide, and that really helped bring the speech together, keep it whole. We always knew what you were talking about, and it really helped just bring the speech into one cohesive idea. So that was really great. And another thing, great job using a PowerPoint on your speech. That's amazing. So good job, and I look forward to your next speeches and how you'll improve from here.
Okay, so that concludes the evaluation section of the meeting. And now it enters the portion of the meeting where I evaluate everybody. Nobody is safe. Nobody. But first, I'm going to evaluate the evaluators. So, Nasir, did a great job. You're getting a lot better. Because I remember when you first started in Toastmasters, like over a year ago? Yeah. I mean, you were a lot quieter. You were just not like in a shell, but just not loose, and you didn't feel as at home here. But now I see you, you're just very, very, I don't want to say very confident, because I was saying you're not confident before. You're definitely more confident than you were before, and it definitely shows. You're used to the notebook. You had this in your hand. And I think, now as a general evaluator, I have a lot of information that I have to go over, which is the reason why. And I should preface this by saying, I'm going to be a huge hypocrite tonight because I did not prepare and I did not dress professionally. I had no excuses, but it is what it is. So, the notebook. Ditch it. Because you only looked at it like a couple times, like briefly. And you don't need it. You're a good enough speaker. I really don't think you need it. So next time, sink or swim. Even if you get up here and it's like, that's all, folks. See, you know what I'm saying? And so I really like the way you broke it down into sections, and that little bite-sized pieces that, okay, here's this you need to work on, this was good, and then this is the final thing I want to say about this. That way it's 3 easy things that they can take home. You stayed in one spot, which is good, instead of doing this while you're talking, and it makes you a moving target for all the people trying to watch you, and you look kind of funny. So, all in all, you're doing great. Zach. God, I gotta grill you, man. Gotta grill you. Good use of preposterous at the beginning. That's great. See, where's my snack? Does that not count? All right. Good use of stage space. I really admire how you able to use stage space. So when he uses stage space, he doesn't, like I was saying earlier, this had no purpose. But when he talks, it's okay. Now we're moving on to the next point, and now we're going to this point. And this point over here versus that point over there. And so every movement kind of has a purpose. One thing I did catch you on. So when you use your arms, and you use your hands a lot, and you do it very well, but sometimes you'll leave this one like here, while you're doing something with this one, and it looks like you're really tense, like, you know, somebody's about to hit you or something, and so just let it relax. So when you're doing something with this arm, just let this one relax. Other than that, I couldn't catch anything. Onur? I can't say your name. Is it Onur, or how do I pronounce your name? Onur. Okay. I couldn't catch anything. Did you say anything negative about her speech, possibly, that she could work on?
Yeah.
That I could catch? You did? Okay.
Swing.
Okay. Other than that, I couldn't catch anything. Now, that concludes the evaluator section, and this goes on to the general evaluation of the meeting. So the job of the general evaluator is to not only look at the evaluators, the speakers, everybody else that has roles. It's the whole meeting. So how are people acting? Are people being attentive? Are they playing on their phones? That kind of thing. And so, like I said, huge hypocrite today because I was underprepared, and I apologize. First thing, do not walk in during somebody's speech. Do never walk in. Always wait for the applause, and then you can walk in and then use the outskirts of the room to get to your seat. The Toastmaster. Stand more in the middle of the stage, because for a lot of it, you were back here.
Yeah, I'm not trying to let that GoPro see me.
Well, I mean, you're part of the family now. It's a little too late. So stand in the middle of the stage and address the entire audience from here. It just looks better, and it's just better practice because, I mean, I get it. I really do. But it's like a habit.
Yeah.
So when you're going to present, like say later on in life, when it really does matter, and your habit tells you to stand by the lectern and you don't think anything wrong of it, it shows. Does that make sense? Have people stand up when they speak. which is why I was doing that when you were introducing the roles at the beginning. If you wanted to, try sitting there. A lot of people like to do that. They like to sit on that inside row. That way, when you come up, you just come up, shake their hand, and you're already center stage. You don't have to keep going back and forth from over there. You look nice, like I said earlier. That's good. When you have a role, you need to try to look at least a little bit better than you normally do. So obviously I wore a t-shirt today. I didn't wear a collared shirt, which I should have. Being a hypocrite. Good job filling the gaps and telling stories. That was really good. I like that in between the sections. That's all I have for you. The Topics Master, great theme. Great. Okay, all right, it's all right. Y'all are ready to get out of here.
What are you looking at?
Huh?
What are you looking at?
I don't know. At this point, I'm just trying to get through because we're already late and behind. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get the reports and get it out of here. So the grammarian, please stand up and give their report.
All right. Overall, everyone did really good. It was tough to find like errors in your speeches, and I was trying hard. So I did find some. Very few subject verb agreements. Serena, you had 1 run-on sentence. Eugene, you had 2 run-on sentences, and 1 subject verb error, 1 only. Nasir, you had 0 run-on sentences. Nasir, yes, you. 1 subject verb error though. Zack, you had no errors. Onur, you had no errors as well. Okay, I think Nadia. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. You had 1 run and 1 subject verb error. I was very proud of Trisha, Zack, and FR for using the word of the day. That was really nice. Overall, everything was really smooth. Very little slang. Everybody was making the audience engaged. The voice was very active. There was no use of like is, was. It was very like emphatic, and it was like on point. So that was all good. That's all.
All right, thank you. Also, on your eval slips, please vote for, are all the evaluators were in time, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so please vote for the best evaluator. You have Nasir and Onur. And Zack. And also, please fill out your evaluation of me, too. We have 2 more reports. With the all counter, please stand up and give his report.
Alright, most of all was pretty good. So Serena had 15, just lots of so's. Jan, Ejin. Alright, it was 6, Trisha 5, Nadia 1, Akib 2, FR 1, Onur 2, Tyler 3, Kirk 2, Wesley 2, Zack 2, me 6, Shruti 3, Nasir 5, Zack 2, and Onur 2 on the other.
That's it. Thank you. And the timer report. Was everybody in time?
Everyone was in time today.
Everybody was good?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that concludes my section, so I'm going to hand it back to the Toastmaster, Nadia.
Thank you. Thank y'all for coming to the meeting today. This is the second time I've ever been Toastmaster. The first time was an absolute disaster. It was like really bad. It was like really bad. This time, things also went wrong. Like they should have. Didn't get anyone's speech names or times beforehand. You know, it happens. Next time, I'll be better if I ever get suckered into this position again. And has everyone already passed forward all of their ballots? Okay, that's fine. I'd like to call up our president, the one and only Tyler Shannon.
Oh, bro.
Oh, my bad.
Yes.